Hello everyone, thanks for joining me here on JKD Handmade. For this tutorial, I'll be showing you how I went about working this edging for my tablecloth. All I did was work an edging, a crochet edging, and I seamed it onto the tablecloth. Now this edging is worked in 3 rounds. We got round 1, round 2, and round 3, and then I fitted these tassels into these chain spaces that I had worked. When working this edging, like I said, I worked the edging and then stitched it on. I machine stitched it on. I used the biggest stitch setting on my machine, so to prevent the edging from pulling as I stitch it by, if you know what I mean. When working this edging, I worked it to a length that's close enough to the actual length for the border of my tablecloth, but I did go slightly shorter, and actually it was quite a bit shorter. That's only because when you stitch something on, especially when it comes with to crochet stuff, you find that it pulls on, it can stretch as you stitching on. So to prevent that, because you can work this edging, you can work it shorter and then go longer, but you cannot work it longer than the actual tablecloth and then decide to go shorter. That's not going to work. So what I did was I worked it shorter, slightly shorter, and then I stitched it on, and when it came to the end, I left a certain portion unstitched, and that way I made it easy for myself to continue with crocheting the edging. From there, I added on, and I'll show you how to do that in the video. The thing is, try not to make it long because it's difficult to go back to shorten it. Rather make it short, and then you can always add on. Okay, so yeah, for the materials you will need yarn. I went with 100% cotton yarn, and this is a DK weight, which is a light worsted or category 3. The recommended hook on this yarn is a 4mm hook. However, I wanted tighter stitches, so I went with one size smaller, and that's a 3mm hook. You'll also need a pair of scissors, and then obviously you'll need to stitch it on. As I said, I did it by machine. You may also hand stitch it using needle and thread. Okay, so that's it. Let's get on with this tutorial. We'll begin with a foundation double crochet. Form a slip knot. Chain 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll work into that first chain right here. The 3 chains from our initial chain 4 makes up our first stitch. So for our second stitch, it's yarn over, insert your hook into that first chain, pull up a loop. You've got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and go through 1 loop on the hook. So if you look at it, you formed a little chain right here. That chain becomes the start of our next stitch. I always find myself placing my fingers right here just to guide me along so that I know in the next round that's where I work my next stitch. Then it's yarn over, go through 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, go through 2 loops on your hook. So we formed our second stitch. For our third stitch, it's yarn over, insert your hook into that chain, that first chain, going through both loops from that chain. Pull up a loop. You've got 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and go through 1 loop on that hook. So here you formed a chain. This becomes the start of our next stitch. Then it's yarn over, go through 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, go through 2 loops on your hook. So we formed 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3. For our next stitch, it's yarn over, insert your hook into that chain, going through both loops from that chain, yarn over and pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and go through 1 loop on the hook. You formed a little chain for the next stitch, yarn over, go through 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, go through 2 loops on your hook. So here I worked 4 stitches, and you'll continue on in that way to complete your foundation double crochet. This is the first round, and you need to work it in multiples of 13 plus 1. So that's going to be the length of this foundation double crochet round. Okay, so I've worked this foundation double crochet and it's really long. It's for this 3-meter tablecloth that I've got. I measured this, physically measured this around my tablecloth just to make certain that it is more or less going to fit. I would advise rather go slightly shorter on the length than longer. It is always easier to add on in this case than removing or taking off. I will show you how to add on to your foundation double crochet round, that is to lengthen this edging. I'll be brutally honest, I'm not really great at counting, so this is what I did. If you're in such a situation where you need to count something that's just as long, what I do is at my starting point, let me find that. At the start, I'll begin right here. So for this pattern, you need a stitch count of 13 plus 1. Your stitch count is really important. You can extend if you have the correct stitch count. So I counted my stitches, or sort of counted those stitches like the way I'm doing here. So here's my first stitch, that's that 13 plus 1, that's that plus 1, so I'll just ignore that. Then I counted 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 13. And that's the way I counted, literally in multiples of 13. Somehow I know that I would have lost my stitch count had I just counted on and on. Once you've got your stitch count in multiples of 13 plus 1, we'll get on with round 2. So for round 2, it's chain 1 and turn, single crochet into the same stitch as chain 1, then it's chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet into the next stitch, chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, single crochet into the next stitch, so this is what you've got. Then it's chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet into the next stitch, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 2 3 4 5, skip 5, 1 2 3 4 5, single crochet into the next stitch, chain 7, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, single crochet into the next stitch, chain 5, 1 2 3 4 5, skip 5, 1 2 3 4 5, single crochet into the next stitch, and then you'll continue on with the same stitch pattern with your chain 5, skip 5, single crochet into the next stitch, chain 7, single crochet into the next stitch, chain 5, single crochet into the next stitch, and so on to the end of the round. I've continued on working round 2. Before moving on, make sure that you've got 2 chain 5 spaces in between every chain 7. The only time where you'll have 1 is at the start and at the end. Here you see a chain 7, and then it's a chain 5 and single crochet into the last stitch to end the round. For round 3, it's chain 1 and turn, single crochet into that same stitch as chain 1, here we're skipping all these chain 5s and we'll work into these chain 7s. So work a triple crochet into the chain 7. So to work a triple crochet, it's yarn over twice, insert your hook into that chain 7, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, go through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, go through 2 loops on the hook. And then you'll work 5 double crochets into this chain 7. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it's a chain 3, 1 2 3, 5 double crochets into this chain 7, 1 2 3 4 5, and then it's a triple crochet into this same chain 7. So it's yarn over twice, insert your hook into that chain, pull up a loop, go through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, go through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, go through 2 loops on the hook, and then you'll skip the chain 5 and single crochet into that single crochet. So here we've worked a triple crochet, 5 double crochets, a chain 3, 5 double crochets, and a triple crochet all into this chain 7. And then it's a single crochet into that single crochet from the round before. So this is your stitch pattern for round 3. It's a triple crochet into that chain 7, 5 double crochets, it's 1 2 3 4 5, chain 3, 1 2 3, 5 double crochets into the same chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a triple crochet into the same chain 7, and a single crochet into this single crochet right here in between the 2 chain 5s from the round before. That's your stitch pattern. You can continue to the end of the round. I've continued on with round 3. I worked my last stitch pattern there, and then I single crocheted into my last stitch. Now I'll show you how to lengthen on this edging. In actual fact, I got down to stitching this onto my tablecloth, and then I continued on to lengthen my edging. But this just makes it a little easier for me showing it this way. To lengthen on your edging, you will only work in multiples of 13 from here on. So it's only after round 3 can you lengthen further on this edging. So here you need to, if you look on the side here, I'm at the single crochet at the top, and then I've got 3 spaces, and then here's my chain at the bottom. That same chain that we've been working into when working our foundation double crochet. So I'm going to slip stitch right into the stitch or that little gap in below the single crochet. So here I am, and then it's yarn over, insert your hook into that chain at the bottom, just as I had done for my foundation double crochet round. Go into both the loops and then pull up your loop, yarn over, go through 1 loop on the hook, yarn over, go through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, go through 2 loops on the hook. So here I formed another stitch, and then I'll continue on in that same way, just as I had done when working the foundation double crochet. Yarn over, go through the first loop to form that little chain, and then yarn over, go through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, go through 2 loops on the hook, and here I formed my second stitch. So you continue on in this way, working in multiples of 13 to lengthen on this foundation round for your edging. So here I have worked 2 more sets of 13 with my foundation double crochet round, and then I'll continue on as I did working round 2. That was my chain 1, turn, single crochet into that first stitch, and then it's my chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet, chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, single crochet into that next stitch, and slip stitch into the same stitch as my single crochet. So here it is, and then for my third round, it's chain 1, turn, single crochet into that same stitch. So again, you continue on with your stitch pattern into this chain 7, and then it's a single crochet to end. So that's how you go about increasing on the length of your edging. But like I said, I'm actually going to increase on my tablecloth. I'm going to stitch this edging, and then as I get to the end, I'll continue with my edging. I just feel more comfortable doing it that way. I really don't want to go too long on my edging because there's no coming back from a longer length on this edging. We've worked rounds 1, 2, and round 3. I went quite short on these tassels. For that, I used a cell phone to wind these tassels around. So yeah, that's what I did. I took it and I just wound it around. I did that 8 times. Into those chain 3 spaces. Go with the bigger hook. I find that a bigger hook helps here. Yeah, so that's what I did for my tassels. I've got quite a few more to do, and that does it for this tutorial. Hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching.